an ordinary boy destined for holy heights. Carlo Acutis died of leukemia in 2006. He was just 15. His mother says in his short life he showed a love for computers and a devotion to the Catholic faith.
He opened the door of his heart to Jesus, and he put Jesus at the first place in his life.
To become a saint, one must be credited with at least 2 miracles. In 2020, Pope Francis confirmed Carlo's first miracle, after a Brazilian boy's lifelong stomach condition was cured after touching one of Carlo's relics. In 2022, a Costa Rican girl was reportedly healed of a major head injury after praying at Carlo's tomb. Father Paul Addison is the priest at the West London parish where Blessed Carlo was born.
In the Vatican, they study these things very attentively and decide if this can be a role model for other people, which I think is what being a saint is about.
There have been sceptics, though, and speculation that Carlo Acutis' canonisation was a Catholic conspiracy to attract more young people to the church. People travelled from all over the world here to the Vatican to witness the canonisation of Carlo Acutis, but it was postponed due to the death of Pope Francis. But the man who will now make him a saint, Pope Leo XIV, has made young people a clear focus in his early days of the papacy.
He's really just the first of these. You know, we're going to get others. You know, we're going to get YouTuber saints in, 20, 30 years.
Among the millions of people celebrating the canonization of Carlo Acutis is his own mother. And who knows their child better than their mother, right? And as mothers, we know that. How many saints have existed throughout the ages where we look and we say, I wonder what their childhood was like. And among the many testimonials that EWTN included in their documentary on him, the most powerful for me were the words of Carlo's mother. I literally wanted to jump through the screen and say, girl, you did it. You raised a saint. You raised a saint. Look what God did through the life of her son. You can find this documentary on EWTN's YouTube channel. It's a quick watch. Watch it with your family. Watch it with your children.
Pope Leo is going to canonize the Catholic Church's first millennial saint, Carlo Acutis, who was a gamer and a coder. He died at 15 from leukemia, but when he was alive, he taught himself how to code. He was self-taught coder and a gamer, and he would code websites documenting Eucharistic miracles and putting up pictures and maps and databases on the internet in 2004, when no one saw the internet as a source of truth. This is way beyond his years. It's just so cool as a millennial to see a millennial becoming a saint. I feel deeply connected to Carlo Acutis because I work in tech and I'm a millennial. And the thing is he was actually supposed to be canonized earlier this year, but then Pope Francis died. So now it's been moved to today, which is September 7th, and I'm actually awake in Greece. I'm just jet lagged. It's 3 a.m. and I'm really excited about this. But today is also a full moon, and it is a lunar eclipse. It's a blood moon, so I think it's a special day, and I'm just so excited for Carlo Acutis. God bless him, and really excited for the first millennial saint. Just shows you can do anything. Today in Rome.
It's canonization day. Good morning. Today's Sunday, the 7th of September, and it's a canonization of Blessed Pier Giorgio and Blessed Carlo. We're gaining 2 new saints in the Catholic Church, which is big news and really, really exciting news. So I'm wearing this dress to the Mass because it reminds me of this picture of Pier Giorgio. So that's how I got the inspiration, and I thought it would be really cool to, fit the theme, let's say. Yeah, I don't know if you guys see it, but I think there's a resemblance there. And I also want to take a second to talk about what this means to me. So Blessed Carlo and Blessed Pier Giorgio, soon to be saints in about 4 hours now, led normal lives. They were normal people like us, and they had their own interests. Pier Giorgio loved mountain climbing, loved the nature, loved hanging out with his friends. He used to love life. He used to pull pranks on people. And Blessed Carlo loved video games, the computer, but they used their interests to glorify God. So this really reminds me that there are so many paths to sainthood, whether it's religious life, whether it's being a lay person, whether it's becoming a hermit like Saint Charbel, who didn't speak to anyone, or being like Blessed Pierre Giorgio, who used to pull pranks on people. There is no right way to sainthood. There are so many ways, and we can all attain sainthood. Yeah, it reminds me that I can still live life, and I can still enjoy it, and I can still glorify God by doing what I want to do. So, happy Canonization Day to everyone, and Blessed Pier Giorgio Frassati and Blessed Carlo Acutis, soon to be saints. Please pray for us.
He wore jeans and Nikes and loved to write computer code. Now Carlo Acutis is on the threshold of sainthood. As a preteen, he started building a website cataloging miracles around the world. It went viral, spreading his name far beyond Assisi, the final resting place of St. Francis, and soon another saint as well. Father Anthony Figueiredo is a CBS News Vatican consultant.
Born 1991, incredible kid in many ways, genius with the internet, but at the same time, this passion of life, passion for holiness. Died tragically at the age of 15 in 2006, and now this phenomenon following that is worldwide now.
What started like the flu was in fact a rapid form of leukemia. Just 4 days after he was diagnosed, he was gone. For his mother, mourning was transformed into a calling to see Carlo Acutis, her son.
What did he teach you in his suffering about how to suffer?
We knew that he had a leukemia because it hides this illness behind a simple cold. No? Carlos said, I offer my sufferance for the church, for the Pope, not to go to purgatory, to go directly to heaven. And we thought that he was joking. We were driving to the hospital. He told us, I won't come out alive from this hospital. I will give you many signs. Always with a smile, never complaining. Say, when the doctor were asking him, are you suffering? He used to say, there are people that are suffering much more than I, always with a smile. And really, he died as a saint. And the doctor were all astonished, although the nurses, when he died, he was 70 kilos. And he was looking with a smile to the sky and very happy because he was not scared about death.
Hello guys, welcome back to my social commentary. I hope you all are doing good and you are watching this video. Today being the 7th day of September 2025, a Catholic Church just canonized 2 saints, and one of them was a boy of 15 years that died in 2006 that said to have performed 2 miracles. So without wasting much of your time, if today is your first time of coming across our video, do well to subscribe to our channel, like and share to help the channel out.
Patron of digital technology, pray for us. Hi, I'm Bobby Angel with Ascension Presents. The biggest takeaway from Carlo Acutis is that we can be saints in this digital era that we're living in this time period where it's so tempting to think, who could ever be a saint with the amount of just distractions and the apps and the internet? Who could be a saint in the age of the internet? Carlo Acutis points the way. So 5 things you may or may not know about Carlo Acutis. Number 1, he is the first millennial to be canonized a saint in the Catholic Church. He was born in 1991. And the second thing you may not know about him is that he died at the age of 15 in 2006 from a very aggressive leukemia. There was a sickness going around his school, and his parents didn't think much of it at first. But then they took him to the doctors when he wasn't getting better, and they came back with this very tragic diagnosis of this aggressive leukemia that within 3 days of hearing, like, this is what's going on in your son, Carlo died. And even at his funeral, some were already claiming miracles. Some people were already saying diseases were being healed. People who were struggling with infertility were saying that through Carlo's intercession, they were able to conceive. And so already his witness is radiating outward. The third point, too, of Carlo's love for the Lord is he would call the Eucharist his highway to heaven. He deeply felt the conviction that if this is really Jesus, then like, what are we doing wasting time on anything else? And more people need to know about it. And so the fourth thing you may or may not know about Carlo Acutis is his love for technology. He was a millennial, so he's born with computers and the internet and saw it as an atomic bomb for good. Just as we know the internet in our phones and devices can be an atomic bomb for bad, we can also use it for good. It's a neutral thing. It really is how we use it. And so for Carlo, he had a knack for coding. He created a website dedicated to documenting Eucharistic miracles around the world, events where the host, the bread of the Eucharist, will bleed, or other miracles have happened around the Eucharist, and that website is still up and able to be seen today. So for Carlo, it wasn't you have to either be anti-technology or just totally on board. He also saw like you have to have self-restraint, you have to have self-control and be discerning in your use of technology. Which brings me to point number 5. This is one very encouraging for me. He loved video games. And so we've got the first saint of the Catholic Church who verified, played video games, enjoyed them, but he also knew when to stop, when to put down the controller and keep everything in balance. His prayer, time with friends, time with family, and he had a self-imposed rule that at one point he would only play video games for 1 hour a week. That wasn't something his mom gave him. That's something he imposed upon himself because there was just too much to do. There was too much to do in the vineyard of the Lord. It's greater self-discipline than I have, I'm going to be honest. Carlo is like my little brother in the faith. When I am tempted to think, man, it's so hard to pray, it's so hard to, prioritize the Lord, or just there's so many distractions. I have felt Carlo's intercession in my own life just kind of poking me like, hey dude, you have time. You have time in the day. You could say no to some things. You could say yes to the things that really matter. Carlo said, we shouldn't try to live as copycats of others. We need to be who the Lord has uniquely called us to be. Carlo said, to always be close to Jesus, that's my life plan. We could look at his life and the tragedy of being gone at the age of 15 and the pain that is for a family and a community, and also see, from a memento mori, a remember your death kind of way, we don't know how much time we have. Our life doesn't start when, our life doesn't start 10 years down the road. It's happening in the here and now. And so are we close to Jesus now? When my wife and I were on a anniversary trip in Italy, we went to Assisi. Neither of us had been. And I did not realize there's a church there where Carlo is actually entombed. Like there's a casket there that has his body in glass and you could see it. And it was cold. It was January and there was no one in this church. And I was so shocked because that wasn't on the itinerary. And so the saint who I feel has found me and called me and challenged me to take the little steps I can in this digital age to be closer to the Lord. I found myself praying and asking for his intercession so that I can keep my own eyes fixed on Christ. And so I pray the same for you and celebrate what God is doing in the ups and downs through every century. He continues to raise up holy men and women to inspire us and to let us know it is possible to be a saint today. So in 2013, 7 years after his death, Pope Francis opened up the cause for his canonization as miracles were beginning to pour in about Carlo's intercession. And with great celebration and joy, here in 2025, we get to celebrate that he will be Saint Carlo Acutis. Saint Carlo Acutis.
A new saint in jeans and a sweatshirt.
Carlo is a sign of hope.
Carlo Acutis, an Italian teenager who died in 2006 from leukemia, is credited for 2 miracles, helping heal a young boy and a woman. The late Pope Francis cleared the path for his sainthood. Pope Leo will make him Saint Acutis, his first canonization as pontiff in St. Peter's Square. Carlo's mom will be there too. He loved playing video games, then used those computer skills to engage other young Catholics.
I had a friend of mine, St. Carlo Acutis. He was never alone because Christ was his compass. At 15 years old, he had acute leukemia, and he told his mom, I'm not afraid to die. I have lived my life not wasting a minute on things that would displease God. He would bring people to adoration. He would bring students to Mass that were being bullied. We asked this great saint that he would teach us the value of Jesus truly present in the Holy Eucharist, that we are never alone. Through his intercession, may God bless you, the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Okay guys, thank you for watching our video. We really appreciate it. So do well to tell us what you think about this video in the comment section. Do well to subscribe and share our videos to help the channel out. You're welcome.